everybody, welcome back to the Miniac, and you asked for it, and here it is. This is a 2020 Mini Cooper SE. You heard me correctly. This is the electric Mini, and they finally got a demo one here at Baron Mini so that we can actually test this out. And before I take it out on the road, I thought I'd go over the whole car for you and really show off what's so great about this little car. So let's get to it. So as you can see, it's in British Racing Green with a white roof and white mirror caps. This is a signature trim, so it doesn't have the power spoke wheels that you would expect to see. It doesn't have the yellow mirror caps. You don't really need that. But it's a really nice little car. Leatherette interior, not bad. Touchscreen navigation, so it actually has navigation in here. This is the new shifter, the single speed shifter for this car. Electronic parking brake. But for all intents and purposes, it looks like a regular, ordinary Mini Cooper hardtop. In fact, it looks kind of like that one over there. But of course, it is completely different. Now, before I show you the interior, let me get to the engine. Or should I say motor. So unlike most Mini Coopers, when you open the bonnet, you would find a 3-cylinder or 4-cylinder engine. Under this bonnet, you will find a very large plastic cover. That's because the 181 horsepower motor is underneath that, but it definitely fills out the engine bay nicely. So let's get this cover off and see what's under here. So under that cover is lots of orange wires, red connectors. That's an electric motor right there. This is full-on electric technology here. This is awesome. Look at that. It's not something you would expect to see under the bonnet of a Mini these days, but there it is. That is, words can't really describe what it is. It's just cool. So now, of course, we can get inside the car. And as you can see, we have the digital dash, and we have, this is touchscreen, so let me start it. And there's a kind of cool sound when you start it up. So this is the new digital dash, as you can see here. And there's not much to it, really. It's flat surface, digital. This is full-on digital. It's not like what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be slightly analog. This looks like it's a full-on digital gauge, although I can see something that indicates maybe it isn't full-on digital. That needle right there looks like it's attached to actually something in there. But this is kind of cool. I want to show you how that system works, so I'm going to put the car in drive. Now the car's on. I'm going to put it in drive, and we're just going to coast around the parking lot so you can kind of see how it works. So the other thing that kind of happens when you're driving it is you hear this kind of electric car whirring sound, which I believe is part of the active audio system in the vehicle. It kind of gives you this funky electric car sound to kind of sound really cool and modern. And it does sound really cool and modern. So what else do we have? Well, we have a 6.5-inch screen here, which in this car and in all 2021 models is touchscreen. And there it is. It also comes with navigation, which is great. This is nice, actually. It's really nice. This kind of helps you with finding the nearest charging station. What's great about this, though, is if you use the navigation for all of your trips, it'll actually give you the most efficient route for every place you go, which is something you definitely want. This is definitely something to have, and it's standard in all electric Minis, so that's great. What else we got here? My Mini, technology in action, eDrive, vehicle's ready, comfort information. Let's see what happens in driving information. Onboard computer, vehicle status, tire pressures, all systems go. Everything's good to go in there. That's awesome. Notice there's no engine oil. This is just really nice. This is a really nice setup. I love the new layout of the center screen too. That kind of just looks very modern, it's different. I like it. You'll also notice that unlike the regular Minis, which have a red start-stop button, this one has a green one, which is very similar to what you would find in the hybrid Countryman. Unlike the rest of the Mini lineup, this shifter, while it looks identical, is actually a single-speed shifter. So it does things a little bit different. But given that it's an electric motor, you really don't need more than one speed, because they actually have to program these cars, these electric cars, to drive a certain way. Otherwise, it would basically be on-off. The minute you push the pedal, the car would just go. And that would be a little bit scary for some of us. But I think we need to take this car out for a drive, so let's get to it. So I thought it'd be fun to do a little test here. I'm going to have someone else drive the car for me. We're going to take it out onto the road, and we're going to try to break it. Seems a little dangerous. More appropriately, I think he's just going to try to scare the crap out of me while driving this car. So make sure I'm buckled in as tight as I can get. Oh my gosh. I don't know which is scarier, an electric Mini or a roller coaster. Oh. Okay, I think I'm back. That was insane. Now let me actually drive it for a change. Whew. Okay, so now that the lunatic has driven the car, it's my turn to drive it. So we're gonna go have a little fun. I have it in sport mode. I did not put the shifter in sport automatic, but I tried a few times. It doesn't seem to want to go into sport automatic, but I think that might be because this one is a test car. Or should I say, this is a pre-production demo car. It is so weird driving a car and not hearing it. Now I'm gonna roll up the window so you can hear me, because otherwise you won't be able to hear me. But this is strange, driving a Mini with no engine noise whatsoever. This is just surreal. The get up and go in this car is phenomenal. It is just insane how much pickup there is in this car. I'm impressed. And I know it has a almost perfect 50-50 weight distribution. It's probably closer to like 55-45, but still, that is amazing for a electric car. The electric Mini is by far one of the best handling Minis out there probably, and it's probably one of the best handling electric cars. So I want to take this up onto the Miniac loop and give it a really good shakedown, really kind of get an idea of how this car handles, because Minis are known for their fantastic handling capabilities. So the electric Mini will obviously be no exception to that rule. This will handle just as good as any other Mini, if not better than the internal combustion Minis. It's really a capable little car. It is also really weird driving of one pedal. If you let off the accelerator, it will actually slow down and almost come to a complete stop. But then the pickup is amazing. Okay, here we go. We're gonna go through the Miniac loop. Oh my God. This is incredible. Okay, I had to use the brake that time. Electric cars have a lot of instant pickup. This is incredible. This is awesome. Now, it has 181 horsepower, as I stated earlier. So, it's quick. Oh my God. This is insane. Now, when I left the dealership, I had about 30% range left. So now I have about 27% range, which is not bad. The range, it's really good on mileage. And this is like beating it up, basically. So you could go full throttle in this car and get 110 miles of range, or you can baby it, not have it in sport mode, not have all the craziness going on, and you could get probably maybe 135 miles of range, which a journalist has been able to do with this car successfully. So it really depends on your driving style on how much range you get out of this vehicle. Now, with a top speed of about 97 miles per hour, it's not very fast at top speed, but how often are you getting to 97 miles per hour? And you might be getting there quickly, but I don't know. It's great. I think it's great. It's like it just wants to go fast. And the cool thing about it is it's still a Mini. It still has the infinite customizability that you get with the regular internal combustion engine models. You still can change out the mirror caps, you still can change out trim pieces, you still can add vinyl, you can do all sorts of things. You can put different wheels on it if you really want to. You could probably, I think, lower it if you thought about it. You probably could. You could do a lot with this car. You could make it still personalized just as much as you want. So it really doesn't matter that it's an electric car. You can still personalize it. What's cool about it, though, is it doesn't look like an ordinary electric car. The typical electric car with all the crazy coloring and vinyl and graphics and weird styling, it looks like a regular Mini. It doesn't look like anything different. So it can definitely blend in. Now, naturally, you can get the cool yellow mirror caps and the power spoke wheels and everything that makes it look like a true electric car, but you can also get it configured in a way that it doesn't look like an electric car. It just looks like a regular Mini Cooper or Mini Cooper S. And that's awesome. That is really a cool thing about this car, is that you can configure it still any way you want, and you can make it look like an electric car, or you can go the other way and make it look like a regular Mini. And that is awesome. Mini has really done it right with this car. Now, I'm looking forward to seeing what they have planned in the future, because this is just the beginning of the electric generation of Minis, and this is the beginning of the electric powertrain for Mini. So who knows what the future powertrain will be? It might be 140 miles of range. It might be 200 miles of range. It might be 300 miles of range. Who knows? The sky's the limit, really. And of course, how much the battery technology changes over time. So I think there is room in the future for higher range, more horsepower, and who knows, we might see an electric JCW, which would be interesting. For that matter, you probably could put the JCW body kit on this car and it would look like a JCW. I wonder if Mini's thought of that yet. Probably not. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like below. Don't forget to comment. If you haven't already done so, subscribe to the channel. I upload videos every Friday at 2 p.m. Central Time. And if you really want one of these electric Minis, go check out my other videos on the electric Mini, but this is the first video where I've actually had a chance to drive the car, and I can just say it is phenomenal. It's a great car. And this one right here is about $31,100. So with the tax incentive or rebate that you would get for owning an electric car, that puts this car below 25 grand, which is great for an electric car and phenomenal for an electric Mini. So go check out those other videos. I'm going to either put this car back so it can charge up again, or I might take it out for another spin. But I'm just going to remind you all that life is too short to drive a boring car. So drive a Mini. I'll catch you all later.